most natural childbirth movements are based on theories that are incompatible with current teaching, the current teaching of physiology. We must explain why we are really at a turning point and the situation is becoming serious. I'll mention 3 recent studies published in authoritative medical journals. I'll summarize this study. One in American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology last September, the researchers brought together many studies with the same protocol. They compared the outcomes among 2 groups of pregnancy. 2 groups. One group, women had planned hospital birth. Other group, women had planned home birth. So they didn't compare the statistic of home birth and statistic of hospital birth. That's misleading. They compared the project. And the result is that women, first result in this group of studies made in 8 countries, very serious, is that 37% of women who plan home birth, in fact, have to be transferred to a hospital to give birth. That's something to realize, you know, that finally. And the other finding is that the risk of perinatal death, perinatal mortality rate, to use the conventional term, this rate is 3 times higher in the case of planned home birth. So first study I want to mention. The second one is a study from Holland, very special country, special health system. When a woman is pregnant, she is classified as low risk or high risk. Low risk means in practice in the hands of midwives and many home births. High risk in practice means in the hands of obstetricians. The result is that when a pregnancy has been classified as low risk, the perinatal mortality rate is 3 times higher than when the mother had been classified as high risk.
Really?
Yes.
How
And
do you
that's
explain
serious. And that was published in British Medical Journal Authoritative. The last study I want to mention, after that we'll look at the lessons. The last study is from China. Because important to mention a study from China. Problems are planetary, are global now. About the whole population in Southeast China. A population where the rate of cesarean sections are 56%. They wanted to look at the risk of a psychopathological problem among children aged 4 to 6 in relation to how they were born. 3 ways to be born in this study. Vaginal route without forceps or ventouse, vaginal route with forceps or ventouse, and elective cesarean section on maternal request. Both 3 groups. The highest risk was among children born vaginally with forceps or ventouse. But the lowest risk of psychopathological problem in childhood was among those born by cesarean section on maternal request. So these are 3 recent studies published this last month. I want to bring them together and to explain what we can, to try to analyze what we can learn from these studies. We must not fall down in the trap of ignoring these studies, what often is done in the natural childbirth movement, or just saying, oh, to discuss the methodology. That's not the point. What do we learn from these studies with very highly statistically significant results? First, we can learn that modern births are difficult. in general. For example, in the Chinese study, in spite of 56% cesarean section, they could study a group born with forceps or ventouses. It means that even with 56% cesarean section, there were still many difficult births by the vaginal route.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we can say from these studies, particularly those from Holland, the one from Holland, and the other one comparing, bringing together many statistics,
Mm-hmm.
we can say that in fact it's mostly home births that are more and more difficult. Because often people say, oh, modern women have difficult birth because the hospital environment is not appropriate. But what are we learning? That home births are more and more difficult. In Holland, it's dangerous for the baby when the mother is classified low risk. That is to say, that is to say, being in the hand of the midwives only. So, what we are learning today, and that becoming serious, modern births are more and more difficult, and also home birth, particularly home birth. In a hospital, they can, when there is a complication, they can face a complication. At home, it's another matter. And many women who plan a home birth have to be transferred in a hospital. That we are learning. Modern home births are more and more difficult. Birth in general. So the point is to interpret all these studies. Before we can read about simplistic interpretation, it's sure that there are simplistic interpretations that already appear in medical circles, public health groups, and so on. That conclusion, the simplistic conclusion, is home birth is dangerous, birth in the hand of midwives is dangerous. But I must say that first, I'm not surprised by these results at all. And what is dangerous? It's not home birth. It's not birth in the hand of the midwife. What is dangerous? It is first the current widespread lack of understanding of birth physiology. But we might say a cultural lack of understanding of birth physiology. That's what we can say at the present time. And perhaps particularly in a natural childbirth movement. So this is the effect of thousands of years of conditioning, cultural conditioning, beliefs, ritual. All societies have transmitted the idea that a woman has not the power to give birth. She cannot do it. She needs assistance, she needs help, she needs, for example, just the word obstetrics means you need somebody in front of you. So, and many beliefs, ritual, you need somebody to cut the cord immediately, it's a ritual. So that's a deep-rooted conditioning, but reinforced recently. During the past decade with theories, the theories which are still dominant in many natural childbirth movements, theories originally coming from the Pavlovian school of physiology. So the effect was to give birth, you need a guide telling you how to breathe, how to push, you need somebody, you cannot do it. But this cultural condition recently, and that's why we can explain why births are more difficult, have been reinforced by what is today the most powerful factor influencing cultural conditioning. Today, and this is true for the past 20 years in particular, our cultural conditioning is mostly influenced by visual messages. We are in the age of videos, of photos, of television, of screens of many sorts,
The
the
internet.
main factor influencing our cultural conditioning is a visual message. And that's a way to explain why we have reached an extreme degree in our cultural conditioning, extreme degree in our lack of understanding of birth physiology, of the birth process as an involuntary process. There has been recently, in particular, an epidemic of videos of natural childbirth, what they call natural childbirth.
Okay.
It's almost always the same story. You see a woman giving birth surrounded by 2, 3, 4 people watching her, including a man, plus a camera, because there is a video. And they call that natural childbirth. They call that natural childbirth because it occurs at home, or because the woman is on hands and knees, or because she's in a birthing pool. But the environment is as unnatural as possible. The message transmitted by these powerful messengers is you cannot give birth by yourself. You need, your basic need is to be surrounded by people who bring their expertise or their energy. You cannot do it. That's the message. Expertise or energy, this is reinforced by the vocabulary. In natural childbirth movement, they use the word coach. You need a coach, an expert. You cannot do it. Or perhaps which is worst, you need people bringing their energy. You need support. You cannot do it. You need support. You are unable to give birth. So we have reached an extreme degree in terms of conditioning, and this is the best way to explain why birth in general, modern birth in general, in particular home births, are more and more difficult. We need a paradigm shift. We must stop constantly talking about helping women in labor. We must start understanding what we can learn from physiology, from many physiological concepts. You know, the concept of adrenaline, oxytocin antagonism, the concept of neocortical inhibition, but all these concepts and others, we can realize that the birth process is an involuntary process. What is active during the birth are primitive, archaic, mammalian brain structures, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. They have to release the necessary hormonal flow. You cannot help an involuntary process. But some situations can inhibit it. A way to realize that what women need when they give birth is to be protected. Protected against any sort of situation that can increase their level of adrenaline. For example, the presence of somebody releasing adrenaline is contagious. Or protecting against any sort of stimulation of the neocortex, the brain of the intellect. Because when there are inhibitions during the birth process, they come from the neocortex. And when we talk about stimulant of the neocortex, we must start with language. That's not understood in the natural childbirth movement. The most common interference in childbirth is the use of